You'll see there our work with public officials and those delivering a function of public nature. So as we know under the Human Rights Act, that definition is broader than just our traditional public officials. This year, since March, we've provided direct human rights capacity building to over 1,200 staff members. And we've got change programmes running across the UK in NHS Trust, CCGs, local authorities, care providers, and lots more. What we're doing when we're doing that work is we're supporting staff to make human rights decisions. That's something that we've always done, but that in 2020 sits within an even tougher context, a context of greater risk, of less resource, a context of a barrage of changes to legislation, guidance, ethical frameworks, often all of which have contradictory messaging. I mean, the Coronavirus Act, when it in April set out that anything within this act has to be applied compatibly with convention rights. Now, we know at BIHR that the majority of public officials have not had human rights training. So to have a bit of legislation, and we know this is the case with all legislation, it has to be applied compatibly, but to simply say this must be applied compatibly and assume that that is then what's going to happen in practice is something that we know and we're extremely worried about. So what we've been doing is supporting staff to make those really, really difficult human rights decisions every day, supporting staff to balance the protection of life with the protection of someone's right to private family life, to liberty, to not be discriminated against, supporting social work teams to recognise when a change to care and support due to Coronavirus Act easements could result in a breach to rights. And I think that work with public officials this year is more important than ever in ensuring that people's rights are being upheld. They have to come together.